What is up, everybody? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you for another video. Today we have a good one. We have the 800EX versus the 900EX. We're going to get you all those informational bits that you need to make a decision between one of these. Which one is better? Which one is best for you? And what are the features that is different between the 900 and the 800? And definitely right away when you look at them, you see some automatic differences. So we're going to get into it, talk about both of them and which one might be better for you. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's DJ Martini Midwest Reviews and Tutorials. Just lock in, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. If this video helps you in any way, please give me a like or subscribe. It's really helpful, and follow for more content as well. So let's go ahead and just start off right away. I'm going to go ahead and switch camera views, and I'm going to get you up close with both of these speakers. All right, so we're going to start at this angle right here, and you can see the differences right away. You can see that, dang, the 800EX is definitely a lot taller. It's going to about 82 inches. The ProReck 900 on this side is a little bit shorter at about 78 inches. And you can tell definitely different constructions on the subs. You have a plastic box on this one, and you have a complete wood creation on this one. So this is all a wood box with coating, and a little bit different with the plastic over there. So you can see definitely a different style, different look when it comes to the ProReck 800 versus the ProReck 900 on that side. So totally different look. So you guys let me know right away which one looks better to you. Now you can see you do have the same subs on the bottom. You do have 12-inch subs in both of these. Over here on this side is going to be a little bit lighter at about 64 pounds. This one's hidden a little bit over 70 pounds, so it is heavier. You do have, look at all these speakers in here. I believe you have 8 speakers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 speakers. They're 3-inch speakers. I want to say that they're full range speakers in there, but you have 8 of them. And then you have 4 speakers in this one, and it is 4 mid-range, and then you have 4 1-inch tweeters, yes, on this one. So a little bit there. So we got the weight, the height, the builds. You got plastic build versus a wood build here, and you have both of these speakers. So we're going to go ahead and turn them around, and we'll get a quick look at what they look like on the other side. All right, so we got a good view on this side. You have both of them in here from the back side. You have the 800EX on this side, and you have the 900EX. You can see the label on this one. I guess you can see the 800 label on that one, so you can see the difference. So the biggest differences that you will see, besides cosmetically how they look, weight, and height, they also have some big differences when it comes to the actual operation. Now, they both have about 4 channels here. So you have, this one actually will have 5 channels because it has an aux, and it has Bluetooth. It's a 3.5 millimeter jack, but it has an extra channel here as well. So you have 1, 2, 3 channels. You can do line, instrument, or mic in any of these. And then you have operation. You do have an FX, which is basically an echo or a reverb. Kind of does a little bit of both. And then you do have your highs, and you have lows, and then you have the main gain at the top here. So 3 channels, 4th channel, which is Bluetooth, and 3.5 aux altogether, RCAs. This does have true wireless sound connect, but you have to have 2 800s. You do have Bluetooth here for your Bluetooth connection, and you do have a master volume, which includes volume for the sub and separate volume for the array, which is cool. I do like that about the 800 for sure. Now, another big difference is this is a wood box. This is a wood construction, and so honestly, that is very tough, very durable, and it sounds pretty good for the sub. If you are used to a subwoofer in that box sound, it is going to add a little bit of sound to this that we'll talk about here in a little bit as well. Also on the back side, you do notice that this does have a internal fan to keep that amp and the speaker a little bit cooler, and so that is nice that it does have that on the 800EX. So a couple cool things about that, but pretty similar operation. You do have a mix out as well via XLR, and these are combo jacks, and the selector switch for mic, instrument, or live. It is nice to have on there. So it does have some cool features on it for sure. Let's go over to the 900EX. They made it a little bit more digital, but it's pretty nice. So over on this side, you do have your LCD display right here. You do have 2 channels instead of 3 channels. You have 2 channels over here, but you do have the combo jacks. You do have 3.5. You do have RCAs. You do have a dedicated reverb and echo volume knob here, but it kind of does both at the same time. So you have that over here too, kind of, but you can actually get into the LCD and do a little extra, which I'll show you here in a second. And you have your main gain for your Bluetooth, or this can be Bluetooth or your AUX channel, whatever you have plugged into the RCAs or the 3.5mm jack. So I'm going to take you in a little bit closer because this does have a LCD screen, and we're going to have to take a look at that as well. All right, since we got you off the stand here, you can see that you do have like that fan, like I said, on the 800EX, power switch, power switch, power over here. You have a little extra specs on the 900EX compared to the 800EX. Get you a little bit closer. You do have digital presets on here, but because a lot of spec sheets will say this doesn't have digital presets. Well, it does. It has flat, DJ, and live. You have 3 of them. You also have a phase button on here, which is nice, so you can change the phase. You can see how my volumes have. I usually have that sub turned up pretty well, and then I have the satellite about half, but sometimes I'll even turn it down a little bit because the satellite speaker on this one with those 8 3-inch speakers is pretty powerful and can overpower it just a little bit. But other than that, let's go to the other side. The 900EX, we turned it on with that power switch. Once again, we have those mic or line switches that you can switch. You have your Bluetooth button right here and TWS together. Over here you have Bluetooth and TWS separate to connect to another speaker wirelessly. But same thing here, very easy to do. If you want to see how to do that, go ahead and check my other video out. But like I said, just doing some quick comparison here. But you can go into here, you can go into the music. So these are your digital presets, right? Like I said, right there. And you have music, live, club, and speech. Over here, like I said, you just have flat, DJ, and live. But you do have digital presets. A lot of things say that this doesn't have digital presets. It does, but it's only on like a selector analog switches here. So no screen on this, okay? But we do have the screen on this one. But what this one has that kind of blows things away here a little bit is so it has a sub output here. So you can go to any other sub or powered speaker, and then you can control like the output for that if you want to go like 80 hertz or, you know, whatever else. So you can control that. You can also control that mic volumes. Like I said, you can go bass, treble, echo, reverb. So you get a little bit more power doing these individually on here, which is nice instead of just having the volume switch here for both. All right. So that's a dedicated feature. You also have, the biggest thing is the EQ. You have a delay on here. There's no delay on here. You have in the settings, you have a mic priority button, which does work very, very well. So you can turn that on here, and you have bass control as well. That's for the reset. I don't want to reset it right now. But yes, this will control, and it kind of bypasses the EQ. So if you have this turned up way up and it goes to +3, but you can even like weigh it down a lot. Negative, what's it go to? Negative, damn, -40. So it's a pretty good, you can really turn it down on there, but I have it at 0. So it's kind of what we have. So also controls for your mic priority, which is really cool and does work very, very good on these speakers. Other than that, delay, here's the EQ, full, let's see, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 band EQ. So pretty cool there. And fully adjustable. So you can really dial these in with those features. Here we go. So The biggest differences specs wise is price. So we go straight to price. The 800EX is $500. It's $499, $500. The 900EX is $429, so $430. And so it's coming down probably to the wood construction. It is a little bit more expensive to produce that. Also, 8 speakers in this one, a little bit taller, a little bit heavier with the wood and those types of things. And so 500 versus 429. Now, in specs, this one is a 1400 watt speaker. The 900EX is a 2000 watt speaker according to their specs, which I think might be a little bit inflated, but I would more RMS that this is about a 400 watt speaker versus the 900EX, which is probably a 500 watt speaker, RMS wise. And that's just doing a little research and from what I've been able to pick up, but that's kind of still guesstimates because I haven't found an official spec sheet. So just to let you know on wattage and powers. Now, we already went through the size difference. Like I said, 82-inch tall, 70 pounds or 64 pounds versus it's about, what did I get, 78 inches on the 900EX. So they're only a few pounds difference, but the few pounds is noticeable on the 800EX. I can lift them both up with one hand, but you can definitely tell the weight difference on the wood box compared to the plastic box. So we'll put it there. So I would definitely give portability and weight and everything to the 900EX for being a little bit more mobile. Now, speaker wise, like I said, both have 12-inch subwoofers, but the 800EX has 8 3-inch full range speakers, and the 900EX has 4 mid-range speakers that are 4-inch and 4 1-inch dome tweeters. So pretty cool. And you can kind of tell that it's a little bit more dialed in for clarity. Some of the features, like I said, you still get true wireless sound connect with both speakers. You still get Bluetooth 5.0 in my opinion with both speakers, so you're still good there. You still get Bluetooth with both speakers. They both have Bluetooth. You get combo jacks. You get a mix master output, that's XLR. You get an extra channel with the 800EX, but other than that, pretty much the same features for the most part. The thing that's different is the LCD screen is the really big difference on the 900EX. You get that LCD screen, you get that cool digital display, and you get a little bit more digital presets, including the delay, the mic priority, which you can turn on and off, the 7-band EQ, and then also the ability to get into your microphone settings and change some of the bass, the treble, the reverb, and the echo. So you can get in to do that. You also have a sub cutoff. If you hook up like another sub to these, you'd be able to cut off where you want that particular range as well. So it does have a couple extra little features in there in that digital LCD screen, which a lot of people might like. Get a little sound test from both, but you'll get to hear how the SPL looks.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do see that the mic priority does work pretty good. Takes the music down to a reasonable level. I had to make sure that there's line and mic. Make sure your mic toggle button is over, and you can see that the toggle for the mic priority does help. And make sure you turn on the mic priority as well. And you can see that it does work pretty good. Mic check, 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 check. Yeah.
What is up, everybody? We're back. We're the outside test, and I apologize. There's people doing construction, there's dogs barking, there's all kinds of background noise, but this will make the test even better, right? Because it'll be a real life scenario where there's other stuff going on and you have to get through it. So I'm not only going to give you a sound test on the 900EX with the 800EX, which you also see behind me. So I have a microphone on my camera guy and I have a microphone on me. So I'm going to try to get out a couple feet because I want to test the Bluetooth range as well. So I'll be walking around the fence line, which I have a good at least 40 feet to walk around. And then I'm also going to be testing the microphone. And like I said, there's a microphone on him and a microphone on me. And hopefully we'll be picking up mics on both. So you kind of get a cool range of microphone on how these speakers sound. It is bright, it is hot, and I hope you guys appreciate, because I am sweating my head off here. So let's go ahead and give it a sound test.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess the ignorance is bliss. Take me back to the ordinary.
I did have to notch it a little bit, but it's not full volume. It's a little bit less than full volume. All right, that'll be the sound test for the 900EX.
All right, just want to give you a quick microphone test on this 900EX from ProReck. This is what it's going to sound like with the microphone hooked up. I think it's got a good sound. I think my neighborhood can hear me, and I think we're good. So this is the test with the microphone on the 900EX from ProReck.
All right, now we're going to do a quick test with the ProReck 800EX. I have the microphone here. I'm going to be walking around the back of the yard. Also, it's hooked up via Bluetooth, so we're checking range as well. And like I said, I'm a good 40 feet, so you'll be able to walk around 40 feet away from the speaker. And also, we'll check how the sound sounds. I'm going to give you a vocal sound, and then I'm going to give you a instrumental sound. And like I said, I'm going to be putting this mic way on the back side of my yard here. So, and we got mowers going, we got tools in the background. Let's go ahead and see what these sound like. This is the 800EX from ProReck.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess the ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Alright, take it out of cue. Nonsense can be a human skin. Stand up for the hall of shame.
this is the check on the 800EX from ProReck. This is the quality and sound you're going to get from the microphone. I think you can hear me. I have the volumes a little bit turned up, but yeah, this is the quality you will get on the 800EX from ProReck on the microphone.
Let's go ahead and wrap this video up with a few extra things while we're talking about sound and those sound tests right now. So sound for sure is subjective to everybody, but for me, this 800EX definitely has more throw on the bass. So it definitely is 100% more bass than the 900EX in my opinion, just because the box sounds fantastic with the wood box. You can get some decent clarity out of this, but it takes a little bit more work to be able to get that clarity, especially the settings with the volumes for the sub and the array is very important. I had the sub at 75% and I have the array volume at 50%. You could even go to 40% sometimes depending on where you're at and how you want that. Other than that, there's not a lot of adjustments unless it's in your software, or if you go into the channels 1 or 2 to be able to adjust bass and treble a little bit more for you. So it's a little bit harder to dial this speaker in to get it to sound the best. Clarity wise, I would give it to the 900EX. I do believe it has a little bit more power, just a little bit more power. We saw those SPL tests where I was in between 85 and 95 with both of them really, but I did get up from other tests to 103 SPL with the 900. The 800 only got up to 99 with all the tests, even with the satellite speaker turned up crazy, which I would never listen to the satellite speaker with this one that high because it's just too much. But yeah, you can definitely dial this one a little bit more with clarity and precision. So the 900EX is definitely a little bit more clarity, but less bass. More bass, a little bit less clarity on the 800 is kind of how I would take it. Other than that, there is one other thing I want to bring up on the 800EX after having it for a while and testing. This speaker, the array speaker, the sub is fine. The array does rattle at certain frequencies, and that rattle sounds like distortion, but it's not distortion. It's just the screen rattling with the plastic frame. And so there is a fix to it, and some people won't like it, but it is just as simple as taking tape or even some duct tape, making it in a nice little strand. Probably electrical tape will look a little cleaner, and just putting it right under the first speaker here and wrapping it as tight as you can, at least 3 times around, and you can just keep it in a straight little line, and that's it. Tear it off in the back and you just have a little tape line on there. And people might ask, but it's not a huge thing. I don't think even people would notice really, but that will stop that rattle, and then they have pretty good clarity after that because you won't get distortions at those certain frequency ranges or rattles. So yeah, that's a really easy fix for that, but something that I wanted to let you know. And I will flash a picture of what it looks like if you do that, because I had to do that on, like I said, I have had 3 of these, and so but I have used them with that with no issues, and they sound great. Okay, and so things to ask yourself and think about is what this segment is about, and it'll help you decide which one is better. And you got to drop the price. $429 on the 900 or $499 on the 800. Price wise, think about getting 2 as well if you want 2 speakers. And so $1,000 or a little bit $800. And so think about too that if you use my discount code at audioprorec.com, you'll get 10% off. So that's still putting you under $1,000, and it's also putting you under $800. So that could be a nice little deciding factor as well. Do you want to pay $800 or $1,000? So very, very interesting there. Plastic design on the 900 or wood design on the 800. And going into that, portability and weight. So the 800 is going to be heavier because it's a wood design. So it's over 70 pounds and it's 82 inches tall. The plastic design is 64 pounds and it's about 78 inches or 6'7". So something to think about there. So plastic or wood, portability, and weight. you know, I would definitely say that the 900 is more portable and it weighs less, but it's a little bit shorter. So that's going to be some factors for you to decide. Looks and sound. What do you want it to look like? Do you want it to look like the 900 over here, or do you want it to look like the 800 over here? You know, some people are going to be, those are going to be factor. I like the way the 800 looks more than the 900, but is that going to be a deciding factor for me? Who knows? Also, sound is a big factor. Like I said, if you want more bass throw, the wood box is going to offer that 100%. The clarity is a little harder to zoom in on the 800, but clarity is better on the 900, but the bass is shorter and it's a little bit lacking from the plastic design. So those are going to be some factors for you to think about. And then the 900 does have some extra things that the 800 doesn't have, including that LCD screen, the 7-band EQ, the microphone features with the priority mic, and things like that. So those might be some added things that you might use a little bit more. And those mic adjustments are nice to have individual things for the mic, including bass, treble, and reverb and echo. So those extra things might be something that pushes you towards the 900EX. All right, some last things to think about. My final thoughts is people are going to ask me, which one do I like better? This one's hard, and I have to go to what my DJ, what works. You got to always ask on equipment, what is better for me? So this is how I would break it. If I'm doing a lot more stuff outside, the 800 is the way to go, because the bass on the wood box is fantastic. I can handle a little less clarity outside. So, and this is my opinion, so I'm okay with a little bit of lack, or maybe even a little bit of distortion from this, because I'm outside, I'm bumping the beats, and they're going to be able to hear still the voices and everything pretty well outside. But the thump is what people want outside, and so the 800 is the way to go. The 800EX is my choice if you're outside. If you're doing a lot more stuff, it also has a fan. So this has a fan, it's going to keep that amp cool. Something important to talk about. If I am inside, I want the 900EX, and I would use it 100% more than the 800EX, just because it does have a little bit more clarity. On my dance floor, it's going to have enough bass that I need, and if I need more, I could always bring another powered sub. But it's going to have really good sound for the inside. I can narrow it down to get more clarity. It sounds really good with the mics. You have all that extra choices with the LCD screen. And it is, I believe, in my opinion, due to SPL and things like that, that it does have a little bit more power than the 800EX when it comes to wattage versus RMS and things like that. So, like I said, I probably lean more to the 900EX for things that I do, but it might be different for you. So those are my choices, those are my decisions, and hopefully this video has helped you in some way, somehow, to make a little bit more better judgment on what will work for you. Those are some things that you can think about, and it could work for any DJ out there, especially for the sound to value and price point. So pick up 2 for under $1,000 using my code, and you'll be ready to go for a lot of different events, including those small to medium events for you. So, all right, if you're a beginning DJ, like I said, I always say ProReck is a good way to go, because it can really save you money, but yet get the job done as well. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you guys so much. If this is helpful, like I said, please give me a like, subscribe, share, follow me for more content, more DJ equipment, more tech, more tutorials, more DJ Twitch highlights. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. I'm on Twitch doing early morning R&B every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time. So check those out as well. I'm having fun doing those, and have a really good early morning crew if you want to become a part of it as well. So other than that, I can't wait to see you on my next video or tutorial. So we'll see you later, but hopefully see you soon.